Alright everybody, here's a Holley 4180 which goes on the 1983 Mercury Capri RS 50. Taking it out here, I had it rebuilt because one of the gaskets started to weep, so I just not going to even chance it on the car. Here's a completely accurate part numbers and descriptions if you need to know what this original said. So I'm going to kind of walk around it, zoom in on some of the parts. That pretty cool blue anodized, that's still there, that's from the factory brand new. And then I'll spin it around once so you can get a good look at it. Okay. Here and on the other side, used to have a metal vent that came out and went into the charcoal canister. And I'm capped off because they're really not necessary here in New Hampshire where I am. Okay. Now let's start looking at some of the, well, let's address this piece. This is a throttle kicker. They came on all the Holley 4180s, and this is for an automatic car. This was never used, so I left it on there though because that's what the car came with. So Holley sent these carburetors over. These were on all of them, automatics. When the AC kicked on, it would kick this up, and that's not the case here. Okay, here's your primary, secondaries. This one's in a vacuum secondary. So the other thing too, if you look, let's see if I can get a good angle, right there. So there's 4 of these, and these were, by Ford, they were covered up by a hardened steel. I had those removed way back by a company named Pony Carburetors. There's 1, 2, spin it around, 3, and finally 4. And I do have the right wrench to get in there. Actually, I bought a snap-on wrench so I can adjust these. When they go in all the way, there's less fuel. That's how I'm going to say it. So if you ever take one of these carburetors off, just screw them in and count how many you did, and that way when you go to start it back up, you can put them back out so you get a better understanding how many go out. And there's your manufactured by Holley for Motorcraft. That's pretty cool. Next thing up is these 2. Okay. When the car was new, this had a metal pipe going out of it, wrapped around the header or manifold, and then came back in here via a rubber piece. And what this does is it tells the car the temperature. Okay. Your electric choke, this runs the electric choke, which is your white wire that goes here. So you start it up, it'll set the choke. This will sense the air temperature, and once you tap the pedal, it'll go down by itself. So it all works still factory original. These 2 guys were plugged. They're for vacuum, they're vacuums for emissions. We already know we're not using that. Same thing with the front one here. Here's your fuel inlet. Now inside here is a copper type of filter. It's pretty interesting, but I have a second one on the car. And incidentally, that leak was right here. I noticed when I was working on the car, I took it off and there was a little tiny drip. So they did Healy coil it for me and got it all sorted back out. Okay, primaries here, vacuum secondaries here, and that runs off this one. So you connect your distributor. You know how you see on the Capri, you'll see a hose that comes up here. Well, that pulls the distributor timing and opens up the vacuum secondaries. Here's what she looks like on the inside. So there you go. Next video, you'll see it on the car, up and running.